kept talking about it. Deathloop.
Yeah.
And me and you were like, we're going to have to drop whatever games we're currently playing just to play it because apparently it's good and we need to play it.
It's literally, as the time of recording, it's December 10th. We're not going to be able to finish it for the end of the year. And if it's as good as everybody says it is, we're probably going to want to include it in our top 5 games of the year list.
Yeah, definitely. So. But so started it. First of all, I'd like to say that this is a little spoiler for later, but I feel like the voice actor for Colt should have fucking won that. Because within like the first 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, he's fucking killing it.
I agree.
Yeah, like he's killing it. And even Juliana, like they're both like the voice acting in this game is
it's good,
fucking top notch. I love it.
Yeah, it's the writing paired with the main 2 characters. The voice acting for the jobbers and like the regular people, it's about as serviceable as I think it needs to be. But where it really shines, like you said, those main 2 characters, they're fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean gameplay wise, it's basically Dishonored. Let's not kid ourselves. There are some little tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it's Dishonored. And I like Dishonored, don't get me wrong, but I could never finish it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like fatigue from all the BioShock, because Dishonored was basically BioShock.
What was the story in Dishonored? Exactly.
Right.
This gameplay needs a good story to drive it along, I think, in order for it to really hook. Because by itself, I don't think it has staying power. You know, we talked on the show before. I don't know why I'm drawing this parallel, but it just popped in my head. We talked about director-dependent actors. Well, now in terms of gameplay, I feel like there is story-dependent gameplay, gameplay-dependent story, and then those that can stand on their own no matter how good or bad their counterpart is. And I think the Dishonored gameplay is story-dependent.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least it's much more elevated by a good story. Like Hades, for instance. I remember, again, last night we were watching the Game Awards, and one of the gamer friends, Enya, she was saying that Hades was the only roguelike that she likes. So for her, the gameplay loop or formula of a roguelike is not enough to hook her. It's story dependent for her, right? But what really elevates the roguelike gameplay in Hades is its story. The marriage is tight.
Yeah.
And again, the story is intricately tied to this quasi-roguelike formula here in Deathloop because there is a loop, right? Yeah. And I think that really helps kind of move things along. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I haven't actually died yet, besides the first time that you die in the story.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering when the game came out, I was like, how is this loop thing going to work? Because if you loop, you're going to go all the way back to the beginning, and like, are you going to have your weapons and stuff? Well, when you die, you go back to the start of that day. So whenever you get to a new area, time passes on, and eventually it will pass on to the next day.
It'll groundhog you back to the beginning, whether you die or not, if enough time passes.
Exactly. Yeah. But every time you do go back, you lose all your upgrades and your weapons and stuff. But obviously you'll know where they are. And you can go back and find them and everything. I really like it. I really like it so far.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying I really like it so far. Honestly, something about the combat just gives me anxiety. Because it's like, oh, no. Everybody saw me. Fuck.
Fair enough.
And I don't have, like, enough powers or anything. So I got, like, a few guns. And I'm just like, there's, like, 20 people here.
Yeah.
I'm going to hide in this room and just wait for them to walk into the doorway.
Well, it sounds like I'm a little bit farther along than you, because when you get further in the story, you discover a way to take things with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, how long you been?
You may have noticed there are objects in the world that kind of have a glimmer to them.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. There's a story reason for that. Yeah.
I figured.
And that's tied to how you can imbue objects with the ability to come with you on a loop.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of the quasi-roguelite progression.
Oh, I'm assuming they're like objects that are stay the same across loops type thing.
I mean, I don't really think I need to break it down here, but just know that it's reliable. Like, you'll see what it is when it comes up, for sure.
Okay.
And as far as the game itself, the more I play it, the more I like it. In the beginning, I was like you. I was like, it's Dishonored gameplay. Story is something, I guess. He doesn't remember anything, so you're kind of starting fresh with him. You're learning what your situation is. I got an idea of kind of how it's starting to pan out. There may be some twists and turns, and I'm looking forward to that. But in the interactions with Juliana and Colt are fantastic, and they're fun, and they're silly. I agree with you that combat can be stressful, especially because you're so vulnerable in the beginning. Like, if you get caught with your pants down in a firefight, or there's a turret behind you, and you don't just tear ass out of there and collect yourself, you're going to die. Mm-hmm. But they do a couple of cool things to help soften that blow in the beginning that I like. There is the augment you get early on where you get up to 2 chances in a run, and the third death is what actually resets you.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
That. Yeah.
And it kind of, if you die the first or second time, it just kind of rewinds you back to right before your most recent fight. So that way you can try again. And that's cool. Mm-hmm. And the AI itself is dumb as a box of rocks. They forget about you the moment like a squirrel runs in front of them. You know what I mean? Again, if you decide to square off with them and they're shooting at you, they can take you down, and they probably will. But if you run back and approach, like if you just completely flub an encounter and they're all over you and you run away and wait for just a hot second, you have infinite chances to reapproach an encounter and do it better. And if you're clever, there are a lot of things in the environment you can hack, like turrets and cameras, different ways to kind of get the drop on your enemies. There's a kick mechanic, and you kick the fuck out of people. They go flying. I have kicked so many people off cliffs. It's like Sparta, the game. I love it. So yeah, I'm having a really great time with it. I can see why Big Nkrumah loves it so much, because he was talking about it last night. As it stands right now, looking back at all the gaming experiences I had this year, it's highly likely that this will make it into the top 5. But more to come on that. I won't say for 100%, and I'm happy because both of us were really blah about the game because of the marketing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I get it, it's coming out.
And I felt bad because it's like black lead. You have a male and a female black lead, and we're rooting for everybody black. So I was like, I feel bad, I don't like this. I want to like it. So I am happy to report that it's super likable, and that once you get your hands on it, like, you see immediately all the charm that it possesses, and it just continues to get better the more you play it.